Okay, hopefully this is all going right now. Had to cut yesterday's Amplitube review because it decided to crash on me. And one of the big ones, let's see, the Amplitube, let's see, hey, Woody, the version of Amplitube we were using was probably Amplitube 4. And that's kind of what the whole point of talking about this thing is. For about 5 years, there was a lot of Midi problems. I think a lot of it came from VST3, not having Midi work very well. And instead of addressing it, IK Multimedia pretty much ignored most of the forum posts. And, I'd email them a lot. I'd get answers to certain questions, but zero radio silence on a lot of the basics about Midi editing. And if you guys remember, a couple of years ago, I really went on a tear and started working with the developers to really beef up the MIDI in these products. Bias Effects 2 really, got a lot of benefits, but still wasn't quite there as much as you could get with Gig Performer, for instance. So yesterday when we were trying out Amplitube 3, it just croaked on me, right? It just crashed. So I just, we went through some of the stuff. The sounds were pretty good. The new routing is just absolutely fantastic. That's on the plus side. A lot of the problems were still there. I still have not gotten any official word on whether or not the impulse responses are able to be done. It looks like if you buy one of the real paid versions of Amplitube, you can load in your own impulse responses. So for like $100 to start, you would get that function. It seems like you get a lot more stuff as well, but it's weird to me that I'm going to click on the speaker cabinet thing here. So you see up at the top here there is there's a lot, custom IR, and when I click custom IR, because it's locked, it looks like you have to pay for it at the custom shop. Here comes the custom shop. There is nothing in here. So, I don't know if you're even going to be able to buy it for the custom shop. But not to take away their profits or whatever, but there are plenty of free impulse response loaders. I just found out that the Ignite one is still available. It's in the Ignite Emissary bundle on, I think Joey Sturgis's website. If you have Reaper, you got a free one in there. Audio Assault has not free, but in their stuff, there's some ToneLib GFX. You can run impulses in there. There's you got a lot of different versions. But the biggie that I think, of course you guys are concerned about sound. It seems to me like all the same stuff is still in there. Because you can do dual paths like this, you can have a much easier time to get the stereo effects working the way you think they should. However, you can't, the mixer, it's a paid feature, so you can't really pan the things you think you would be able to, at least not that I've been able to find. There is a pan on each speaker, so there's a way you could probably kludge this around, but you'd be able to actually get the choruses not to phase out on you by moving things to different paths and panning things around now, having some real pan control. And one thing that I wasn't able to do was to put effects on just one path in front of an amp. So I can put effects in front of all the amps, but I can't put them. I couldn't find a way. See, I don't know if that's going on both of them or just one of them. I really just want to put it on one amp, let's say. But so the real thing, you guys, I know I keep going off on tangents. The biggie was Midi, right? Let's look here. So I got a Behringer FCB 1010 here. I'm gonna move my continuous controller, and I should be seeing stuff on the log here. There we go. So there's an expression pedal. I have it set to CC27. I'm just rocking it back and forth. Let me try another one. Set to CC11. We're seeing the numbers go back and forth. I have some, I was using with SWS Live, so I have a couple pedals that are set to CCs. They just turn on or off a continuous controller value. There's a toggle. Here's a program change 1, 2, and 3. So we know these are working. This is Midi. And so I'm going to put it on VST3 version of Amplitube, okay? And I'm going to press buttons. Now, yesterday, this is what crashed me, so I'm going to be a little bit paranoid on this. Now, nothing's happening here, right? Let's just check. Midi is getting through, okay? But nothing's happening. So I'm going to turn off the VST3 version of Amplitube. I'm going to turn on the VST2 version of Amplitube now. I'm going to do some program changes immediately. This is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So, as far as I can tell you, VST3 Midi is still broken. I don't even know why. I mean, this should have a big fat warning when you go to the Midi page. I'm not going to go to the Midi page because I don't trust that it's not going to crash this thing on VST3. But there should be a big fat warning when you open the VST3 one that just says Midi doesn't work on the VST3 version. So, you know, sound-wise, this thing at least has everything that Amplitube used to have before, as far as I can tell. It's way easier to route. Having these like splitters and stuff is really awesome. But, you know, like I say, the Midi is a little sketchy. I don't know if we can do the IRs. The other biggie you guys want to know is whether the continuous controllers, whether there's going to be an auto on and off feature here. I'm going to find out when you find out. So let's see just how hard that is to set up. So I'm just going to get a basic. I still don't understand this like hook thingy, but whatever. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff just to make this way simpler. Let's just make sure this is working first of all. Okay. And so all I got is the stock amps. They actually sound pretty good. I think this thing is, I don't know if they sound better than they did before. I kind of like them better. So who knows? Maybe I'm just going deaf. So I'm going to grab a wah because that's going to be the obvious one, right? So we got a couple different wahs here. Let's see how. And as usual, the documentation is pretty barf-tastic. So just trying to assign the a wah. Learn wah. Okay, so that was painless. So the pedal's working. Okay. So the biggie, can we turn this thing on and off? What does this auto do? Is this just going to rock back and forth? Okay, so that's an envelope follower. And I don't really see any way to adjust the sensitivity on that thing. So let's... So, you know, we want an auto engage function, right? So if I move this wah, it should turn it on. If I rock it backwards, it should turn it off. Is there a way to do this? Okay, so this might crash. This might be the end of this review. Let's just take a look at the control change. Right now I have that wah. So wah is, I think it's like a global, okay, here, preset. There we go. So it's on 27. So what is latching off? So how do we turn it on and turn it off? Where is the... Okay, I'm gonna right click the control, assign MIDI mode. I don't want it mode. I want it on and off. Let me get rid of this wah. Try a different one. Let's see if they have an on and off one. I don't want to turn mode. I want to turn it on and off. Again, you know, this is This could be done a little bit better, guys. Okay. Ah, crap. This is the same. Okay. Let me show you the behavior I want, and hopefully this doesn't end up croaking. I'm going to assign the MIDI here. Okay, so that's 27. Okay. So what I want to happen, I'm going to put our own plugin, AIX DSP's Auto Engage, in here. What I want to happen is when I move the wah up a certain amount, I want the wah to turn on. Or when I move the pedal a certain amount, it turns on the wah. So I don't need a separate wah switch. You can put a toe switch in your MIDI controller if you want. I actually did. It works okay, but you know, I like the auto engage feature. So what I'm going to do, if I can remember how this thing even works, I haven't had to use it in a while. So I'm just going to give it the input CC, which I know is 27. I swear I have a learn thing here. The switch CC, I'm going to tell it to be, I'm just going to tell it to be 28. How about that? And what I'm going to do is this button right here, if you want to watch this guy right here. So let me clear the log. So when I press this switch right here, assuming that Amplitube doesn't, in fact, I'm going to bypass Amplitube for now. I'm going to press this switch and it should burp. It should burp a MIDI signal, which it's not doing. Why is it not doing? Oh, because this is the wrong recontrol MIDI. Here we go. Sorry. Here we go. So when I press this button, blap. Okay. So I'm triggering the MIDI switch, but it's actually sending the wrong. Yeah, no, it's CC 2028. Okay. So it's sending a full scale signal to the other device, to the other plugin, so that you could do a learn function more easily. You could do this manually, but what I'm going to do, go back to Amplitube. I'm going to right click. Actually, let me get these all showing at the same time. I'm going to right click the mode switch. I don't want it to be mode though. Oh, man. So I'm just going to put the learn on and I'm going to burp it. Burp. Okay. So now, when I move my wah pedal, it should turn the wah on and off, and it's not doing that. Why is it not doing that? Try inverting the switch. Nope. Make sure it's sending 28 here. Yep, sending 28 for sure. So I'm going to turn the wah on. And the mode switch isn't working. Oh, there you go. See, it's going from on to auto. That's not what I want. I want it to go from on and off. Ah, boy. Yeah, not cool. Let's see. Can I clear it? Delete. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to look inside the CCs. Hey, Sam. I'm going to look inside the CC chunk. So here's control change. I'm going to look at this preset, and I want to add stomp A1, wah. Yeah, see? Okay, bypass. Maybe bypass will work. Let's see. So I wonder why that didn't show up in the thing. So maybe this will work. So let's try. I'm going to learn. Hit me. Let's see. So I'm going to go learn. And I'm going to burp it. Burp. And let's see what happens. It's still going between. So it's off. Let me turn it on. See, it's going between on and auto still. Get that out of there. Mode, delete. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be bypassing. So right here, I should be able to. Maybe that's the power. So that's the power. I should be able to turn that on or off right there. Turn it off. So we know this is working, or we know we've assigned this. Let's see if I can right click it. Bypass. So it's in bypass right now. Well, now 27's not even controlling it. That's interesting. Assign Midi. Learn wah. There we go. Okay, it's not bypassing. Let's check this again. Hi, you know, far be it from me to just say, hey, you know what, maybe we should just make our own multi-effects plugin since we're making so much of our own stuff anyway. Okay, wah preset. So wah bypass is, oh wow, it didn't take that CC. You guys saw it happen. Let's learn this again. So I'm going to click learn. I'm going to burp it. 28 right there. Okay, you saw that. 28 for the bypass. Okay. Okay, it's backwards, but that's okay. I can fix that. This is actually better than the way Bias is doing it. And I'll tell you why in 2 seconds here. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to have to invert my... Actually, can I invert it here? Okay, I should just go and show you exactly what's going on here right now, but I want to see if this can't be just fixed and dealt with right here, and I think it can. Let's see. Oh, let me change this. Come on. Why? Well, you can't type in, but you can drag. Max is 0. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Okay, so when I move my wah pedal past a certain amount, it turns on. So as far as I can tell you, Amplitube does not come with this feature by itself, but for only $14.99, you can buy this handy one from us. And in fact, I'm actually going to turn up the threshold a little bit so that you have to move the wah a little bit more so it doesn't just go right away. And then I'm going to remap it so we got the full range back. And I can make a certain amount of dwell time so that if you rock it back, it won't turn off right away. That's kind of handy sometimes. But now, here's the good part about this. This is actually directly controlling the bypass. It's not toggling the wah. Like, watch, I'll turn this on, and it'll go back to the exact same behavior. So this is not toggling the wah. This is either engaging or disengaging bypass. With Bias FX's system, you actually toggle. So you might have it set one way and then switch away from it, and then all of a sudden your switches are working backwards. So this is actually a good thing. Bias FX or Amplitube 5 has drastically improved the Midi, in my opinion. It's not perfect, it just solved the weakness, and there's a lot of stuff to control and you know, for the eagle-eyed among you, you're still going to see the 7 samples of latency right here. It's probably okay. Like we said yesterday, that probably has to do with that IK Multimedia is actually telling the truth about what's going on instead of just saying 0. But it does have an effect. It has a stability effect, among other things. But I do like this. And you know, yesterday I was directly comparing it with Bias FX. In fact, let me just let me give you my I think so. With Guitar Rig 5, if Guitar Rig 5 lets you assign a MIDI switch for it's not just wahs, you know. This is the main thing is to use this with whammy pedals, so it bypasses your so it completely bypasses the whammy pedal when the pedal's all the way up. So you're not running through the pitch shifter all the time accidentally. As long as it has a switch As long as it has a MIDI input for the bypass switch and a MIDI input for the continuous controller amount, it'll work with it. But, go on there and give it a try. It's a free download. But let's pull the rig. Here's the 5150, right? Let's get the. I'm gonna replace this with you know who. Where is it? I know it's in here. I know you. There's no presence control, but sounds that it comes with. So I was comparing it with Bias last night. I don't trust Bias. It just crashes thing. It looks like my internet might be going screwball. I'm not sure about that. Let me see. Am I still? No, looks like I'm okay. Facebook's just messing up. Anyways, it seems pretty cool. The free version anyway. If you really want to pay $100 or whatever it is, you get the. I think that you get the impulse loader. But, you know, like we were showing last night, you just run a free impulse loader if you need to. MIDI is drastically improved. Routing is drastically improved as far as I can tell. I'm not thrilled that you can't really get to this mixer. I would like to, but it looks like there might be a way to fudge it around with the cabinets and stuff. Still kind of prefer the sound of Bias effects too. This is looking good and looking bad. I wish they would tell you that the MIDI's not going to work with VST3. Aside from that, especially for the free version, what are you going to complain about, man? It's the MIDI's working better. It just seems easier to use all around, and having these dual path things, you're probably going to be able to figure out a way to route the way whatever you want to do. I wasn't like I showed you, I wasn't able to figure out how to get a pedal just in front of one of the amps. It either goes on, I think it's going on both of them. In fact, let's find that out. Oops. Yeah, that's hitting both of them. Yeah, it'd be nice if I could just put a pedal in front of one amp path. And then there's this DI path, which is interesting here. See that? So you could probably use this to trigger a gate or something. I don't think there's third-party VSTs in here, but whatever. This is pretty good, especially for free. So go grab this thing if you want it.